welcome everyone. I'm Serena Shadeen, the Executive Director at the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today with Patti Johnston, the owner of Core Dynamics, Pilates and Dance. So Patti, can you tell me a little bit about Core Dynamics and what you guys do there?
Yes, so we are a local Pilates and dance studio, and we offer classes from toddler to adult. And we teach everything from Pilates, TRX, prenatal classes to postnatal for everybody from beginner fitness people, like just entering into fitness classes, all the way up to elite teams. That's kind of the fitness side of our business. And then the other side is we teach dance classes, and we offer ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, contemporary, hip hop, modern, musical theater, and acro training, as well as a teacher certification program.
Wow, got a lot going on there.
Yeah. We got a lot going on in these walls. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of education and training do you have or your instructors have that have got you into this line of work?
Okay. I started out as a dance student. The thing about dance is it's actually not regulated. There's no government regulations, which surprise a lot of people. They think if you own a dance studio, you've got some training under your belt, which is usually true, but not always. So I like to try to educate our clients on that so that they're making choices and not getting surprises after, because we've had that before where parents have come in and their students is coming from another studio. They want to get into our teacher training program, or they want to be in our advanced level classes, and they just don't know enough yet. And but we won all the gold medals at competition. And it's like, yeah, that's not a standardized measure of anything really, because of the difference in different competitions and festivals and things like that. So I started off in a dance studio. I did student exams. My studio was accredited with the Canadian Dance Teachers Association, which has been around since, I believe it was 1949. Just a second. 1949, I think, in Canada. And there's lots of different governing bodies, but I have been examined to teach. So from there, I went on and did my teacher's exams. And then my fitness side started actually quite accidentally. I was having a lot of pain and issues with my hips and my lower back. I was uber flexible because of my dance training. And I was spending a lot of time at my local chiropractor's office, just trying to keep my hips in place so that I could keep doing my job. And I was at a dance teacher convention in New York, and I got in on a class with Mari Windsor, teaching Pilates, and I had trouble getting down onto the mat, and I couldn't believe that I skipped out of that class. And so I was like, I don't know what just happened here in this last hour, but when I get back to Canada, I am looking into this Pilates thing. And that started a love affair with postural analysis and body alignment. And then, yeah, all of the Pilates trainings and certifications that come with that. So I am certified through Canadian Dance Teachers Association. And then I have done my STOT Pilates certifications, as well as other anatomy and functional anatomy and stretching and fascial movement courses. I'm an education junkie.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So have you been in this line of work, dance, fitness, your entire life?
Yeah. I got to teach my first class at the studio I trained at when I was 15. And so I am celebrating, I'm just going to say over 30 years in this profession. I'm not going to put an exact number on it, but I've been here a while.
Yeah. So you're also a business owner. So how long ago did you open your business? I mean, what were the steps that kind of took you from being, in fitness and dance instructor to actually then kind of making a huge leap into business ownership? How did that work?
honestly, it was quite accidental and organic. I never set out to be a business owner. I just wanted to offer some Pilates classes. And so I just put an ad in the local paper because I needed to fulfill a certain amount of training hours as well, teaching. So I put an ad in the local paper. I think it cost me $15 back then, and people came, and then they kept coming. And then all of a sudden I had this Pilates studio that was doing quite well. And I also had dance students that were getting close to taking their teachers' exams, and they wanted to continue with those. And so I actually started just offering 6-week sessionals for students that wanted to enhance their training that they were getting at their existing studios and help them with exam work and things like that. And then I had a group of students that I was doing Pilates for dancers with, because a lot of the dance injuries or issues that we see are quite often misalignment. And I fused those two to kind of correct a lot of the things that I found were going wrong in dance classes or common misalignments, as a way to help with injury prevention. And they approached me about teaching them full year. And I declined at first. I didn't want to do that. And they were persistent. And I'm like, well, okay, but don't tell anybody. And then they told people, and my phone started ringing. And so all of a sudden I had a business on my hands. And it was tough in the beginning because I had a lot of technical knowledge, but not a lot of business knowledge. So then I found myself seeking out the business knowledge, and I joined a couple of different mastermind groups. And now am currently with one that I've been in this mastermind group for about 5 or 6 years. And now the gentleman that runs that organization has actually hired me to help train other business owners on marketing, advertising, ideal customer avatars, and all the things that go on with managing and running a business. So it's been a full circle.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's really, I mean, kind of, I guess, inspiring for students and youth, because it's, you can find something that you love, dance and fitness. And then, you know, as time goes on, you can grow and develop in that and start your own business, become an entrepreneur. So it's really great to be able to take your love and kind of continue to grow it over time. So
Yeah. Well, and I was in Lakeland College doing university transfer because my plan was to be a pilot.
oh, interesting.
But while I was in university at Lakeland College that year, I also took my teacher's exam, and that was the end of it for me. I just fell in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So I guess, what does a typical day or week in your job look like?
Ooh, totally depends on the day and what's going on. Normally I get up, I like to do a little bit of reading in the morning and have a cup of coffee or tea quietly, because like I said, I'm an education junkie, and I do think I'm just going to be a lifelong student, and I love to read or listen to audiobooks in the morning. And then it's a little bit of a workout, because if I'm not functioning, my classes aren't functioning. And then it is to the daily grind. So I spend my mornings now going over the tasks that need to be accomplished within the business, as far as delegating tasks to staff members, checking out budgets and Facebook ads and what's coming up in our schedule so that we can be prepared for that. And finalizing all those details, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And then I like to spend a little bit of my time daydreaming about what I want to do next, because I don't do well if I'm not busy. So I do always need to have another plan on the go. And luckily, running a studio that has a lot of students, that gives me a big playground to play with that way. And then my afternoons are spent in the studio. I've cut back my hours a lot this year. We're training new teachers, and we've got some great career teachers here. So it's allowed me to sit back and work on training some of the newer generation coming up through the ranks. And I'm finding that I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, I think the most I teach now is about 3 hours in an evening. where it used to be 5. So it's a mix. It's a mix, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been finding that a lot with the different business owners I've been talking to over these interviews. Like yesterday, I was talking to a plumber who's now a business owner. So you find a lot, they're no longer necessarily, you said you're just instructing 3 hours a day now. So they're a lot more kind of, you know, moving past that part and getting into the running a business as their day-to-day tasks. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a big jump going from the technician to the visionary of the company and where are we going. And I always laugh because they say we're supposed to call ourselves CEOs, chief executive officers, and I hate that because I don't feel there's nothing, not executive, but I hate the organizational details of it. I have learned that about myself. I am much more a visionary, creative person. So I love to come up with the new ideas and then pass them down to the people in my business that will get them done.
Yeah.
And it goes much better if I get out of their way and
Yeah.
just let them do what they're good at, and I stick to my zone.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many staff members do you have there?
We have 7. Yeah, 7 that are here all the time, and then we do contract work with a few as well.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what trends do you see developing over the next few years? And or, I mean, has the pandemic also maybe affected some, change within the industry?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely affected our industry, mostly in the performance part of it. Like if I'm just looking at the dance side, the performance part of it has been all but shut down. So it's been really tough. I know some areas in BC, because of the film industry, they've got some different laws. They're allowed to do performance with audience. It sounds like Alberta's starting to loosen up a little bit, but it looks like the end of our season, which is typically May, June, is going to be live streamed events as opposed to events with audiences. And so it's part of my job is navigating through that, because what my students want is that audience participation and that applause to know that they've done their job. And so it's coming up with new creative ways to do that. As far as the fitness side of it, it's the social distancing is like really, like you've just got to be a little more careful and aware. Definitely a lot more paperwork as far as cleaning protocols and things like that. But I will say we have typically had a cold and flu season go through our studio. As I know, many schools have, there's usually a week or two in November and another one January, February, where there's a lot of students that are sick, and we haven't had that this year. So we're going to be carrying a lot of these things forward as far as cleaning protocols. I honestly can't wait to get rid of the masks, because it is a challenge wearing those while you're physically exerting yourself. That can be tough. But I do also really like the hybrid. So we opened, I think we closed on March 17th last year was when the date came. We shut down for a day. We had built a new website of sorts, like a Google site that housed all of our new information, and we switched over the following day and we're back up live virtually. Then over the summer, we pulled our students and like what worked, what didn't, how can we make this a better learning experience for you if this is how it continues in the fall. And we made those changes over the summer. And a lot of people have really preferred the virtual. And we've got some students in Saskatoon, we've got some students in Peace River that attend our fitness classes on a weekly basis. And so it's really broadened our reach too. So we're going to be looking into that more over the summer months and seeing how we can expand in that area, because I don't think it's going away. And not that COVID isn't going away, but the hybrid version, like if a student is homesick with a cold, they can still watch what's going on in their dance class and be caught up the following week, which has been fantastic.
Yeah, even within the chamber, I still foresee us a lot of these changes really sticking around, because like you said, the hybrid with our chamber events, I mean, I can still see us if we do have an in-person element, then even past the pandemic, I can see us still continuing to live stream our events so that people do have the option to watch from home. So I think there's going to be a lot of changes like that that will stick around for sure.
Well, and the other great thing, like we've had guest teachers, like we had the Melbourne Ballet Company artistic director running some of our ballet classes this year.
Cool.
From Australia. Like we would have never had that experience before. We had teachers from England teaching us portions of 42nd Street, like the Broadway show. We had a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader off the rhythm and blues team come in and talk about like auditioning. And we even actually took a class with students in Brazil. One of our ballet instructors is from Brazil. So we did a ballet class with her former studio. And then our students got to do a Q&A with each other after, and they're still talking about that. Like,
I love it. That's so great.
Yeah, it was a fantastic opportunity for them, and one that they wouldn't have had there not been a pandemic. So there was a lot of good that came out of it if you were looking for the opportunities.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps almost everything up. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Just if students are interested in learning about entrepreneurship or business or fitness, like I would love to welcome them to give me a call, and I'm happy to. I love talking business, I love talking dance, I love talking fitness, and I love anatomy. So if any of those things, if they have questions or would like to do a job shadow or anything like that, they're more than welcome to give me a call.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.